So in a world of TikTok millionaires and AI tools, right or wrong, I feel like nowadays college seems to be a overpriced relic. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about, is college still worth the cost? It's a fair question to ask.
Student loan debt on the rise, salaries on the decline, unemployment on the decline. Is it really worth it anymore?
And just like general sentiment, I think there's also this notion that it used to be college for sure. And it was almost like it was an outlier if you didn't go to college, kind of in our last generation, right? And it's kind of changing a little bit. Not right or wrong, just something to talk about and how this plays into your investing life, your knowledge life, and everything else at hand. Did you go to school? Go to college?
Technically still in college.
Oh, that's right.
Not past tense.
That's right.
Present tense.
Current tense. That's right.
Yeah.
Did you go to college?
Yes.
Where?
Indiana for undergrad, Syracuse for grad school. I went to two.
Overachiever, you. I
We're
pointed saying
still in
this.
student debt.
Yes. Mucho.
She was very apt to
yes.
point that one out.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to talk about today, because there are obviously costs and benefits.
Did you go to college?
I did. I got my undergrad at Arizona State University.
Go Horn Devils.
Sun Devils.
Sun Devils.
Horn
Forks
Devils.
up.
For all of you out there kind of thinking through this, if you're parents, for your kids and vice versa, we're going to talk about the stats on this for higher pay, all the things with regards to networking, background, things like that. We okay over here?
Sorry.
He's bored.
He's bored, I know.
Big
But
yawn.
I like kind of letting a few minutes and kind of think through this a little bit, because it's like, I'm sure we have some stats regarding college, higher pay, what the differences are.
Oh, you know it.
Oh, I knew it.
Yeah, so let's go over cost, what college might cost us. So obviously there's different kinds of college. There's in-state, there's out-of-state, there's private, there's not private, there's Ivy League.
Yeah.
So average annual in-state tuition for a 4-year is about $10,000 a year.
That's true of any across. That's average across
The
all
average
states?
across,
Okay.
yeah, America. Average annual cost for out-of-state tuition and fees is around, we'll say like $29,000 a year.
Mine was 20, so that's definitely up from 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's what we call inflation.
Oh.
Inflation.
Someone came in and chose violence this afternoon. All
Well,
right.
not violence. I just watched the show, so I know.
Watch mindset.
Average annual tuition for a private university is about $50,000 a year. And then cost of an Ivy League education is about $90,000 a year. And for example, Harvard University is $87,000 a year, which covers tuition fees, housing, food, regardless of state residency. In over 4 years, this amounts to nearly $350,000. So you better prepare.
Big.
Kiki and Brooks.
Big chunk of money.
Yeah.
So what are some of the benefits of college?
Number 1, statistically higher pay. So bachelor degree holders generally earn 75% more than those with just a high school diploma and the higher level of education attainment.
A point that I grew up listening
100%.
from my family, from everyone in your schooling, you go to college.
I was basically told if you didn't go to college, like you would just fail. Like it wasn't like said like that, but that was basically what you felt.
I felt it. I
Like,
can't talk about how people were telling me, but yeah, I had the philosophy, if I don't go to college, I'm not going to get a good job. I'm going to be living in a bad part of town.
that's why this is very cultural, is what I'm trying to say. Like if it's in cultural, meaning by the family, right? If your family's about it, you're going to feel it.
Yeah.
Go forth, young grasshopper.
Grasshopper. Number 2, social and personal benefits.
Yeah.
Friends, experiences. I was thinking about travel abroad. Like I know that's something that you talk about a lot.
Love it. I am a big proponent, although I do believe education first. I'm a big proponent in the socialization aspect and the broadening of a young person's horizons.
Agreed.
I tell everybody, like, study abroad. It's
A
not
young
just
person's horizons. You sound so grandpa.
That was beautiful.
That's beautiful.
I mean, I am
poetic.
officially middle-aged. But when you start getting outside of your neighborhoods, your culture, your
It's good for
race,
everybody.
your religion,
Yep.
you really see like parts of, you shouldn't just go to like, I'm going to take nothing but math courses or business. There's a reason they tell you like take a few different courses because you really do broaden as a human being in college.
The benefit and the value of seeing life from someone else's shoes is so valuable. If you need to do that in a college setting, great. If you can do that outside of a college setting, also great. Like for our kids and through our church, we do missions trips and things like that and showing them, how we can add value to people who may have different things than we do.
Yeah, that's great.
They don't need a college to do that. Mom and dad are going to walk because we do that. That's from our heart, right? Or we will be doing that, right? But I think a part of this social and personal thing I got to bring up, I had one of the best experiences, and I feel like I got lucky, but I also feel like I talked to a lot of people who really have the same sentiment. I have 8 college buddies that I am still very close with today. We have a group message that's going on 20 years, and we every other week there's something going on and we're talking about it.
That's cool.
I keep in touch with them every year or two. Well, every year we were going back to see a game. We'd always kind of meet on a weekend. All of us started getting married, having kids, so that's gone every 2 or 3 years. I talk with them way more than I talk with anyone I grew up with or went to high school with. So for me, the social aspect of it was worth it just by itself.
Lifelong friends, yeah.
Totally. And because there's this like common, I guess I keep using this, like this commonality between the school and the alma mater.
It's a shared experience.
It is.
You see that in the Army.
Yeah.
Military. You have shared experiences, bonds you.
It was cool. Like he's like, oh, and that's a domestic way to see life through someone else's, eyes kind of thing, right?
It's
cool.
It's a miniature melting pot within the melting pot.
There you go.
Beautiful.
What's next? What's the next benefits?
Point number 3.
So we've talked about statistics and higher pay, social and personal.
More money, more friends.
More money, more friends.
And networking is number 3.
This is a lot of times
dovetails off number 2 a little bit, but
a lot of times you're paying for this networking because some alumni groups are really strong and very loyal.
Well, let me just say this. Growing up in the household of USC, and I don't know about other schools, but let me tell you this. USC is networking and their alma mater is real and legit. Fight on. Like, dude.
Especially in certain industries. Syracuse is big in film and TV.
Yeah.
You
even said it a few times. Like I can go on my board with some people. I can, talk about some things we had questions on here.
I've seen people see my area code on my phone and be like, Cuse?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
Like, your resume goes to the top of the list.
It's real.
Yeah.
And it still exists. And that is a weird, sounds like it's almost a pay to play. So if you're applying for a job and that cat went to Syracuse and like, oh, I have it in here.
It's legit though.
Hey, you know what? People want to hate on it and I get it, but right or wrong, it's the way the world works.
Not what you know, it's who you know.
Kind of.
That's like Nepo babies. Like,
it is.
Get your bag however you need to.
I mean, kind of. And just don't be ungrateful for it and work your tail off to keep it and earn it. But yeah, you do have, it's again, back to this word, I don't know why I'm using this today, this commonality of like saying, hey, go Orange, and like there's this thing and you don't even know the guy, but there's this thing. And yeah, that doesn't mean much. And you can do that for a high school too and stuff like that. But there is networking a part of it. And as you get older and you get into businesses, you do want to work with people that have some common background.
No, that's true.
Same with military, right?
Yep.
It's true that's just the same. So, yeah.
This is one definitely legit.
I agree with that one.
Real. Number 4, lower unemployment rates. So the unemployment rate for recent college grads has been climbing since 2022, reaching 9.7 as of September 2025. The same for 20 to 24-year-olds with only a high school diploma. And that's according to the Federal Reserve. So it's legit.
Lower unemployment rates is a good one. Yes. I mean, statistically speaking, yeah. Now there's a lot of variance to that stat, I'm sure, between 4-year university, 2-year university, what degree. I mean, look, I always said this joke before, but like if you go to school for a 4-year degree and pay for like an underwater basket weaving, that's kind of on you, dude. Like you got to find something that you can do in this world.
But I've looked at job listings here randomly over the last few years. And to that point, there's a lot of jobs that don't care what degree you have, that are still just like a college degree will be like the first one, and they don't care. So your barrier to entry, if you don't have a college degree, it's much harder to get. Even still, harder to get that job.
Agreed. Now, if this sounds like a duh, it might be, but like as an employer, let me just tell you something. It's not where it's from, and like you said, it's not particularly the degree it's in. Mm-hmm. What it shows to me is someone was dedicated to going to school and graduating something.
Committed and followed through.
If these were 2 pieces of paper from 2 same age, same everything, one no college, one with college, regardless of what the college degree was, it would be hard pressed for me to say, I'm not going to lie to you all and just say, yeah, I'd be leaning this way because if they're the same age, I'm like, there was something there that they chose to do, whether it was parent involved, forced, whatever, it happened and they did it, right?
They finished.
That's one part of the interview process. That's one part of the decision, right? You still got to meet the person,
But the reality is,
true.
if an HR person gets a stack of 100 resumes, 25 have degrees and 75, I would imagine that 25 are at least going to be at the top to get you a leg up.
Okay, so those are the positives, right? We talked about getting a college degree from a statistics standpoint, statistically higher pay. There's this social and personal connection to an alma mater. Then you got networking, which is a big part of it as well. And then, stats will show that it's got lower unemployment rates. So those are what we would consider the positives. All right, what about the negatives?
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Number one, student debt. Duh, obviously.
I have things to say because I am in student debt. Or
are you?
Have student debt.
How long ago did you graduate?
20 years ago.
Have you had student debt since then? It's a dumb question, but yes. Never. Like you didn't go back for anything. It wasn't added to.
They went away and then they came back?
Okay.
The student debt fairy took them away, but then he brought them back. I've had them since I started, since I graduated, since I started working. I'll say this, like to your point.
Well, let's ask you, is it worth it to you? You've been paying it for 20 years, every month.
Yes.
It's like a mortgage.
I mean,
to me, for what I did, what I have, to the doors it opened up for me in the future and opportunities, alumni, all this stuff where we talked about.
People like to slap on whether that's expensive or not. It's neither. But it's valuable.
Could I be here sitting here without them? Yes. So it goes back to this choice. And I want to talk a little bit more about the numbers because when we say student debt, this is pretty random. The average student loan debt for a bachelor degree is roughly $30,000 to $40,000. A lot, but doable. When you start getting up other professions for, let's say, doctors who have to go to med school, the average is $216,000 in student loan debt.
I'll also add on to that is it subsidized or unsubsidized that you pay right away?
Unsubsidized.
So med school and a lot of those like graduate programs are unsubsidized. So you're going to medical school in the thick of that and paying for school.
There is also, I work with doctors. There is also, depending on where you work, county or otherwise, there are forbearance. There's forgiveness on certain things. So
there's hospitals and they'll pay
correct.
back.
There's some leniencies on certain things.
But I agree. 216 is just for med school. If you had underground, 250. Lawyers, it says the average is around 100 to 140,000. So I think when you really look at your profession, what school you're choosing, you have to start really looking like, what's my loan debt? And what am I going to be making when I get out?
And this is the problem I've always had because I've always thought, look, let me just say this out clear. We have our schools, the way it's set up should not be. The education costs are ridiculous.
1,000%.
Like they are getting absurd. But unfortunately, the biggest drawback, which is what you just said, someone who feels like that purpose, like we talked about last week, right? That purpose, that what they want to do with their life, and they're deterred from it because the math doesn't math. Like you can't really be a professor and not have certain degrees under your belt, right? You can't be a doctor technically and not have med school under your belt. So whether it's from ABC or Harvard,
These
I don't know.
Requirements.
There's requirements. So it's hard if those requirements are going to actually bankrupt you or cause you not to be profitable at any part of the first 10 years of your career.
Right.
It definitely deters people. That's the biggest negative I see is the cost of education as a whole, whether it's valuable or not, is so much out of whack to certain jobs and certain careers that people want to do. That's a problem. Right. Like that is a big problem.
You have to look at the degree, look at the math, like you're saying, what do they pay? And I want to go into now I think we both looked up some of these. It's kind of a thing now where you start hearing some of the degrees people are getting.
Oh God. What are the top degrees right now?
Some I don't want to say worthless or useless. I'm going to say some questionable.
Most underused degrees.
Well, I'm going to use the word niche.
That's so much nicer.
That's a very good word for this.
I wrote down useless or pointless or stupid, but yours is much better.
Please tell me underwater basket weaving is like
I don't
top
think
of the list.
any school actually offers that.
Go ahead.
I'm going to list them and then I want to go back to something really fast.
Okay.
But niche or whatever you said, degrees.
Questionable.
Paranormal psychology.
Amazing.
Adventure education focuses
God.
on niche outdoor activities like kayaking and rock climbing.
Degree in kayaking. Okay.
Bagpipe performance.
That's not a real degree.
Offered by Carnegie Mellon, because I knew you would ask.
Yeah,
that's
bagpipes.
crazy. Okay.
And puppetry is
Stop
on
it.
the rise. Offered by University of Connecticut and Plymouth
UConn
State
offers a degree
in puppetry.
in puppetry.
I'm going to add a couple to this.
Go ahead. It's hard to beat puppetry, but
It's an art.
PhD, an advanced degree in general studies. I'm going to say questionable. You're basically a doctor of things. University of Liverpool offers a specialized Master of Arts, a master's degree in the Beatles.
Amazing.
The Beatles.
I mean, that's a little
band.
on brand for Liverpool. So like, I kind of get that. But
At MIT, you can get a certificate in being a pirate. Confirmed. I went to their website.
that's just a money grab. Let's be fair. That's ridiculous.
I'll say,
Wow.
these next two are very popular right now, and I'm not going to hate on them, but these are the like, how are you going to make money? Where are you going to get a job category? Philosophy, fine arts. These are like getting degrees in like
Okay.
pottery, things like that tend to be art
Yeah.
focused. Another very popular one right now is these kind of gender ethnic studies.
Yeah.
That these are growing super popular.
But what are you doing with them? Where you
Exactly. But
there's only a
you
certain
can
amount of
teach it,
Yeah, but
but there's very few jobs for these. And people are getting masters and PhDs in these
Like,
for
that's-
high student loan debt.
that's just hiding. We as the individual choosing to do this education is a part of this process. We can't just, it's kind of something we talked about last week, right? Where if you're the entrepreneur trying to grind and go for it, that's your purpose. You can't kind of say, oh, I'm having without because I'm doing this process. It's the same thing here. You can't go get a degree in my dumb joke of underwater basket weaving and then complain that there's a problem with, student loans or they should forgo student loans. Stuff like, you're choosing to do this. You have a choice. No one's forcing you to do this. So yeah. So that's why I think junior college is a really good
That was my next
route.
point. Was like I
Yeah.
went to a private school for a year, and then my mom was like, this is really expensive. You don't even really know if you want to do this major. Go to junior college for 2 years, figure out what you actually want to do, and then transfer and finish out school.
JUCO's a
whatever.
great option because for those 2 years, it gives you a sense. You get your basic core levels in. You're kind of like, oh, I like this. I don't like this, right?
Yeah, and for California residents, it ends up being free to go to junior college. So that was always my thing with my sister was like, you don't have to know what you're doing, but
There's nothing
she moved.
free in the state of California.
Well,
But I hear what you're saying. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but yes.
It's a much cheaper option. The average
Huge. Oh, it's way cheaper.
yeah.
is like $3,000 to $5,000.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get
Like, it's
your, like you're
insane.
saying, generals and stuff for way.
Way low.
Yeah. I want to say I spent less than that even. But my sister moved halfway across the country for a specialized program for physical therapy that was supposed to be this fast track thing. And we ended up losing $40,000 from it or something. Or her student loans were just ridiculous. And then she was out of state and it was all this stuff.
Be careful to go into debt for it or math it out, right? Make sure you figure it out and how this will work. And
I will say on a lot of these lists, I don't know if you came across this in your research. This is one that's on a lot of lists that I want to fight back on.
Oh.
So a lot of them had religious degrees on these questionable or useless degree lists. And I want to say to this value proposition again,
if they want to go in depth in their faith on that, that's awesome.
if that's a calling of you feel the Lord has called you into being a pastor, into being a theologian, these kind of things, to where this goes into that degree. Back to your point of if you're called in an industry, and a lot of these are based on pay rates and things that tend to be a little lower. But there are things where you can go into and be like, I know I'm going to make a little less money, but this is a calling. Teachers, pastors, even social workers in a lot of places, they don't do it for the pay.
Right.
You do need advanced degrees, but you're doing it because you know what? I want to help people. This is my calling in life. And that's when I said to you,
I agree.
Whatever the student loan is, to your value proposition, a calling is something way different that money just
It
shouldn't be a factor.
supersedes those things. But if you think about it, there's also a ton of other areas in this world that you can do if it's a purpose to you that a piece of paper doesn't mean much. You know what I mean? Or it wouldn't make or break
my
it.
industry.
Yeah, like film,
TV film.
I
I tell people if you want to make film and you do, don't go to school.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
You don't need to go to the film schools like everyone wants, again, that's value though.
It helps.
It helps. You learn a lot. You have a little 4 years to kind of be in a good institution. You have that alma mater backing. There's a lot of good benefits to it. We're just talking about costs here, financial. I definitely wanted to, in the thesis of today's show is college worth the cost? The answer, in my opinion, although we'll go into some points, part one of the answer is this. It's worth it if it's valuable on all of the fronts to you and your family. The subcategory of that, though, is if in my very simple example, you got into 3 different schools, let's just say, and 3 different price points, right? The one that gives you the least student loan or debt or impacts the family financially is, to me, the right choice.
And I'll say this as we wrap this all up. You can make a very good living, and this is getting more and more prevalent. You can make good living without college. And I think this is a big thing we're seeing. Trades are on the rise. A lot of, the
it's true.
In and out, the sales managers and things like that, or
it's totally true.
Retail managers. You can make a very good living without going to college.
Yes.
Let's land that plane there.
Land the plane.
Hope you guys enjoyed that today. It was a good one. We love talking about these kind of things. Thank you for all of our subscribers who watch each and every week. If you're new to the channel, we come out with weekly shows here. You can also follow us at Mindset with Brad Barrett on all of our socials. And until next week, if you lead with love, it's going to be all right. See you guys.
What? You don't like my writing?
No, your writing's great.
She wrote it.
It's really good.
It's not TikTok or not chit chat. Chat.
It's not chit chat.
We should call it chit chat.
Chit chat.
I like that.
Let's go ask chit chat.
That should be like, oh my gosh, an idea for you. You should create chit chat, and it can be AI that wants to conversate with you.
Whoa.
Or like AI that will talk to you on the phone.
Brad, I have an investment opportunity for you. It's called chit chat. I'm going to need a lot of your money. But I'll turn it into a lot too. So
deal.
That's fine.
That's called investing. I'm all for it.
Here's the real meta using ChatGPT to create chit chat. Other levels.
Yeah.
It's like Inception going on here.